Good afternoon, beautiful souls, friends, and familia. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me again on my channel, Curalma. For those of y'all who do not know Espanol, so my YouTube channel name is a play on words, fusion, so to speak. Cura en Espanol, in Spanish, means to heal, and alma is the soul. And so this, I've discovered, is my life purpose, is to release, to purge, to uncover the things that are no longer serving, that are blocking the divine light that is within me, that is the essence of who we are, and to express that divinity that is me, that is you, that is life. So thank you. And so I'm just going to get started right away. I received a couple of emails and some text messages to unfold and to explain deeper of some things that I shared, topics that I had glazed over in my intro. And this being seeing beyond what the physical eye can see, right? So I do understand that there are many people that are following my channel and that are tuning in that have not had much practice in meditation, perhaps have not had any type of mystical or paranormal experience, and are curious to understand what it is that I mean, you know, when I speak about this, seeing beyond what the eye can see. So I'm just going to speak a little bit about the nature of reality. And so I believe that we have been hypnotized and conditioned to think that, you know, what is real is what our physical eyes can see, or things that we can tune into with our five senses. And so our five senses obviously being sight, sound, smell, taste, feeling. And the truth is there's way more out there for us to tune into that expand beyond these five physical senses that we are led to believe that create reality. And so when I say this, I'll give a little bit of scientific background for those of y'all skeptics who perhaps think that I'm just being woo-woo or whatnot. If let's just take, for example, the human body. Our basic fundamental building block of our human body is going to be the atom. And in studying science and in studying quantum physics and quantum mechanics, the atom is actually less than 1% physical matter. That would mean that 99.99999% of the atom is energy. It's space. It's oscillating. It is frequency. It is possibility. So for us to say, oh, well, if I can't see it, then I can't believe it, you're placing a very limited perspective on reality. And there's such an infinite possibility of other, realities that exist, because it's oscillating, it's space, it's possibility. And I'm not going to go into all the studies that have been done with quantum physics and quantum mechanics around the wave and particle function. But if you have a moment, research that, look into that. Really fascinating, and that will help expand that building block or that level of understanding as I speak about this stuff that's mystical and really beautiful and real. So with that level of understanding, I know that I shared about my abilities that began to wake up, that began to awaken, and that I started to trust and experience these really bizarre, beautiful, and sometimes scary or very strange experiences that I couldn't perceive with my senses because I was tuning in to them beyond my physical senses. So I also want to demystify a little bit about what psychic abilities are, because I do believe that there is this misnomer and this collective idea, because I have had many people, when I start talking about, my abilities, my psychic abilities, they say, okay, well, can you tell me when I'm going to win the lottery, or can you, like, no, that's not my, like, sorry, that's not my exact gift. Um, but I just want to share a little bit about these psychic gifts. So I believe that all of us are born with the ability to perceive beyond our physical five senses. I do believe that we are all six sensory beings, but we live in a world that is conditioned to think that we're five sensory beings. And so those of us that are very sensitive, I think it's much more challenging, and we find ourselves in tremendous ruts and challenges in life. And I also think it's all on purpose, because honestly, I wouldn't trade any of them to be where I am now, with the level of trust and knowing, clairgnosance, this knowing of my heart and of my soul. I don't need physical evidence to prove what I'm receiving. I now trust in this energy that is way more massive than what the eye can perceive. So I just want to share with you all, because I know that there are some of you who perhaps, not even perhaps, because I know that there are some of my friends that have come to me and, you know, have shared with me, you're the only person that I can share this with. I hear these beings, you know, say certain things, or I'm seeing these visions of these beings, or I'm seeing, you know, situations or events play out, or man, I'm feeling that there's something really weird that's about to happen, and then it ends up happening. These are all God-given rights. These are all gifts, and I believe that every single human being is wired to perceive them. Some of us have been born with an over-amplified ability that it's just a gift, like we just have it, and we don't have to work as hard to tune in. And they're made manifest, or, you know, they look different for different people. So I just want to share a little bit about those, and share a little bit about some of my personal experiences. So, you know, we'll talk about clairaudience. So clairaudience being the ability to hear clearly frequencies or sounds or things that, you know, other people can't. There's clairvoyance, that's the clarity of seeing. Clairsentience, this is the one that is most prominent for me, is the clarity of feeling. And so for me, since I was a young child, I have been translating frequencies. I've been translating energies. I walk into a room, and it is not a logical process. This is never anything that your mind can actually figure out. It's just happening. I don't know how to explain that. But since I was a young kid, I mean, early memories of walking down the grocery aisle and just passing by somebody. I remember maybe being 5 or 6 years old, and I was walking by this single man in the grocery store. I was with my mom and my sister, and I walked by this man, and I felt, I mean, his energy field was emitting this tremendous sorrow, this tremendous pain. And of course, as a child, I didn't know that, but I felt it, I took it on, I started translating it, I started feeling it, and I just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. Later on in life, I mean, there were times where I'd be sitting with a boyfriend watching a movie. I remember distinctively this one, The Man on Fire. I'm not sure, I haven't seen the vision of me experiencing this particular thing in a previous lifetime, but I have had many situations or visions or experiences where I'm like, I've experienced this before, I know this, and I tune into it and I feel it, and there's this tremendous amount of grief that is not, it doesn't make sense to the people that I'm with, because how could it make sense? How could it make sense to people that think that they're five sensory beings? They're placing their perception of reality based on five senses. That's how we're conditioned to believe that this is reality. If I can see it, if I can smell it, if I can taste it, if I can feel it with my physical hands, then it's real. So then we're saying that anything else is not real? How small-minded, especially if we look at that study around the atom. If we're placing our reality of what we think and what we feel, if we're placing our beliefs on five senses, we are missing a tremendous amount of possibility. And so I share this because I know that there are other souls that are out there that have experienced numerous things. And I'm sure that you, whoever I'm speaking to, have experienced a level of tapping into your sixth senses, because one of the most common things is I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I think about this person I haven't thought about in forever. And then all of a sudden my phone rings and guess who it is? It's that person that I was thinking about. How do you explain that? There are frequencies. This whole universe is made up of energy. I mean, again, we're perceiving such a small amount as physical beings in this physical form, and observing and thinking that reality only exists in what the eye can see and what our five senses can perceive. But if we take that example of the atom and we can apply that to our personal experience in life, then maybe we can begin to awaken. Maybe we can begin to open our minds to perceive that perhaps there is much more than what we've been experiencing, that what we've been trusting, that what we've been placing our trust or belief in. And so again, these senses, these perceptions, these frequencies, these abilities, they come in numerous forms. So the most prominent one, and many sensitive beings will experience a whole gamut of psychic abilities. Again, I do believe that we all have the capacity to expand on these. But my primary ability is to perceive frequency, to perceive, to feel things beyond what the physical eye can see. However, I also, receive visions sometimes in meditations, or sometimes there are sounds or messages that are like, I can hear them. It's a very clear sound that comes through, or message that comes through. And often as well is the knowing, clairgnosance. So, I mean, my God, there are so many things that people can do. So really in this segment of my expression of my history or of truth, I'm sharing all this because I know that there are many of you who are experiencing some of these things and think, because society has told you, well, if there's no physical proof, then it's not true. But I beg to differ, and I am here to share with you some of this knowledge and information that I have learned on my journey, to help propel you further into the question, into the exploration of finding out what more exists, what is possible, and to begin to trust more in the information that you feel, especially if look, when I receive information and my whole body will light up in chills. I mean, I have goosebumps all over my body. The hair on my neck stands up. For me, that is spirit confirming that whatever it is that I'm perceiving or receiving in that moment is indeed true for me. Because we all have different realities. We all have different perceptions and histories that bleed into our perception of what we're experiencing in this physical form. So I just wanted to leave you with that because of the numerous requests that I have received around, what does it mean to be psychic? It just means that you're perceiving information, frequency, energy that is beyond your five physical senses. And there are numerous exercises I encourage you all to, to research, to study, to look into how to expand on these abilities. So when we begin to tap in more into how we feel rather than what we know with the mind, then we can begin to receive information, new information, and begin to form new thoughts and new beliefs and have new experiences in our life. So again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will look forward to delving in more to the next topic, which I want to discuss more about energy and the energy centers that we have within our physical body that can help exacerbate or amplify the ability to receive some of these frequencies and information that exists all around us and within us. So thank you so much, beautiful souls. I so appreciate you joining me on this journey, and I cannot wait to share more. So happy Halloween. It is a full moon tonight. Again, I'm going to share another, just one little tidbit. So with the full moon, the tides begin to change here on our earth. So water is the element that I always resonate with on full moon. So if you have a moment, grab your favorite cup, pour, obviously spring or filtered pure water in your cup, and take a moment to think about what it is that you want to create for this next month or the end of the year or for the next year in 2021. And with your thoughts, as they're being electrical impulses, and if you can tap into your heart, if you can place your attention, your mind on your heart as you think about your intention and start to feel that energy of what it is of your intention, feel that, tune into that, and then speak that into existence, into your cup. Breathe it in, blow it out. And then after you've set your intention, drink that cup of water and allow your cells to vibrate that beautiful frequency of whatever it is that your creation and your intention is. I think the full moon is the most powerful time to do this beautiful ceremony and ritual. So again, thank you so much, and I look forward to checking in with you guys next week and sharing some more mystical, beautiful stuff. So happy Halloween. Love you guys. Thank you. Aho. Swimming in the colors.